We're friends, right? Yeah? Okay. Do you know what one of the most absurd things in comic book history is? Like, genuinely stupid. That the Green Lantern's original weakness is the colour yellow. Like, literally yellow. Not some mineral from his home planet like kryptonite. Not magic. Not some multi-dimensional threat. Just fucking yellow. I mean, you could theoretically take out a Green Lantern with a banana or a pencil if you were clever about it. It's honestly baffling. Let me put this into perspective for you. There's this fella, right? Hal Jordan.
My face is just getting warmed up.
He's a Green Lantern. Him and his entire corps team are supposed to be some of the most powerful beings in the DC universe. Like, we're talking god tier power levels here. That ring they wear, it's powered by pure will. Whatever they can imagine, if they have the mental strength to will it into existence, the ring creates. Giant laser cannons? Sure. Giant green boxing gloves punching meteors? Definitely. Entire walking machinery, vehicles, fucking green dragons fighting entire mech suits? All possible. And yet, if the bad guy happens to be wearing a yellow raincoat, sorry pal, won't work. It's the kind of thing that completely undercuts the scale and gravitas of what the Green Lantern Corps should be. The scale of the Green Lantern mythos is huge, like epic in its truest sense. These aren't small stories. They're cosmic, philosophical, allegorical. You've got themes of justice, identity, fear, will, corruption, redemption. You've got ancient alien councils, sentient planets, multiversal threats, and emotional energy that fuels reality itself. And within that grand mythos, you've got this massive glaring plot hole that a giant yellow duck could completely wreck your day if you're wearing the wrong ring. It turns these titanic warriors into jokes. And it doesn't even make any sense. There's no scientific or magical logic to it. It's just yellow. But here's the real context. This all comes from what's known as the Silver Age of comics. That era, roughly the mid 1950s to the 1970s, was wild. Like, you think comics are weird now? Back then, they were just absolutely unhinged. The editorial logic was basically, how can we make this next issue stand out on a spinner rack in the next 2 seconds or less? So every story has some wacky twist. You had Superman turning into a lion, Batman wearing a zebra striped suit for no reason, and Lois Lane trying to trick Superman into marriage for the 50th time. It did work in the end though. Characters had all these dumb, overly specific weaknesses, like Martian Manhunter. You can lift a skyscraper, but if someone lit a match, it's over. Aquaman, the person who can summon sea life telepathically, but if he doesn't touch water every hour, he literally dies of dryness. No, like seriously, dead. And I get what they were going for, that he's like part fish or whatever, but come on. The man goes to space. Give it over. These weaknesses weren't about meaningful limitations. They were just plot devices. Cheap narrative crutches to force drama. And the Green Lantern's vulnerability to yellow was exactly that. A leftover from that goofy era that made it impossible to take characters seriously for a long time. If you want me to make a video on all the ridiculous weaknesses back then, I will, because there's some really mad ones. It was just a wild, throw some shit at the wall era to see what sticks, where logic wasn't as important as just having a flashy hook. The yellow weakness was just another one of those goofy plot devices that made sense to 7-year-olds in the 60s, but became harder to take seriously as comics grew up, and we grew up with them. Now fast forward to the early 2000s, and Jeff John comes in, and he completely reboots and fixes the Green Lantern mythos, with Green Lantern Rebirth. This guy looked at the yellow weakness and said, okay, we can make this work, but let's actually justify it. So instead of just being some dumb paint by numbers limitation, he reimagines yellow as representing fear. Here's where it gets brilliant. He introduces the idea of the emotional spectrum. Green stands for willpower, yellow for fear, red for rage, blue for hope, etc, etc. So the reason the Green Lanterns were weak against yellow is because fear interferes with willpower. If you don't have the mental fortitude to push through fear, then the yellow light, i.e. fear itself, can overpower your constructs. It's not about the colour anymore. It's about what it represents. Then he brings in the Sinestro Corps, led by Sinestro of course, Hal Jordan's former mentor, turned nemesis, who wield yellow power rings, fueled by fear. Now the weakness becomes a challenge. It's no longer this arbitrary rule, it's a psychological test. Green Lanterns have to literally master their fear to be effective, which is such a better arc. It adds depth, it raises stakes, and it transforms what used to be a joke into a core part of the mythology. And that's what's so cool about it. Johns doesn't just patch the plot hole, he builds an entire cosmic religion out of it. You get 7 different corps, each tied to an emotion, each with its own culture and philosophy. Suddenly, Green Lantern stories go from generic superhero of the week to these rich, layered epics about emotion, morality, power, fear, and destiny. It's like Star Wars but with a sprinkle of psychedelic superhero nonsense, and it absolutely works. So yeah, the Yellow Weakness, originally a joke, a sad dated remnant of a time when comics weren't taken seriously, but through smart writing, bold ideas, and a willingness to dig deeper into the character's potential, DC, through Jeff Johns, turned it into one of the most compelling parts of the entire Green Lantern mythos. That's a glow up. From a yellow pencil beats superhero to fear is the eternal enemy of will. Now that's storytelling. But that is how one of the worst and most stupidest weaknesses in comics turned into something brilliant. Well everyone, what do you think of that story? I love the whole Green Lantern mythos, and I love what Jeff Johns did to it. And I do have a little soft spot for the old Silver Age Green Lantern, but it is just stupid if you look at it with adult eyes. But yeah, let me know your thought of this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.